Okay, so here we are with me and Johnny, and we are going to take a little trip down memory lane and go to our apartment in Lille.
Oh my gosh, I just saw that.
So let's start with our apartment, shall we?
Yeah, I'm down.
Okay, so
Wait, what the heck?
where are we? Here? This is where we need to go, right?
Yeah. Wait, was it? Yeah, it is.
No, all these buildings look the same.
Welcome to France.
No, we're going the wrong way.
Alright.
Yeah, need to go this way. I don't know why, but all the streets are in not English. So here's Rue de Castle. This is the street we lived on.
Yeah.
And
Oh, there's the hospital. Okay.
yeah, so is this our apartment right here? No.
No, it's one more down. Okay, too far. I think. No.
Oh, that green looks really familiar. This looks really familiar.
Wait. Yeah, because that's where you took the. That's where Alice and I took the photo, or you took the photo of me and Alice. Turn around.
Turn around this way.
Yeah. Was it?
I think it's this right here.
That's what I was thinking.
It's weird how everything's so boarded up. It's like hard to recognize.
Looks like that guy's about to break into the car.
So I think this is our place right here, maybe.
No, because we weren't right across or on that intersection.
Yeah, that's right. That's too far down. So we were probably just like this place right here, huh?
Mm-hmm. It looks right.
Yeah, that does look right. Because it wasn't.
The only thing is I don't remember that green box.
Yeah, I think this is us right here.
One over.
Yeah, this one right here.
Okay.
So, anyway, I just thought it'd be fun to leave our apartment and just kind of walk up to the metro station and see what memories pop up and just kind of talk about it, you know?
Yeah.
And this is the road we walked up so many times in order to get to the metro, and we walked past this hospital all the time.
Yeah, if you turn to the right, there's the, I can't remember what they called it, but it was the grocery store.
The Carrefour.
The Carrefour? Yeah, I would walk there pretty much every single day to go buy milk.
Yes.
There it is.
There it is, right there. Okay. Yeah, because here's the exit for the.
Uh-huh. And I would walk in, and they would be like, milk.
Yeah, I knew he was the milk person. Because it was really rare to drink milk that you bought in the refrigerated section. Everybody had milk in the boxed. Yeah, and so milk went bad really quickly. So we'd buy just a little bit of milk, and
I would drink all of it by the end of the day.
And I remember this place did not like it if you made them give you a whole bunch of change. So like if the total came to say €1.07 and you gave them €2, they'd be like, don't you have 7 cents? Like they didn't want to give you 93 cents.
I do that at work now.
But anyway, so here's our metro station. This is the M. You always knew there was a metro when you saw that M. And this is the Bois Blanc metro station.
Bois Blanc.
And I don't think it's possible to go down inside of it.
I don't think so.
But I thought maybe we could walk over to L'Homme Bazaar and just kind of check it out.
Okay, real quick.
Yeah.
Just turn around.
Just turn around?
Yeah. Keep going. Keep going.
This way?
Oh, no. Keep, like, turning.
Okay, turn this way.
Left.
Left? Okay.
Left, yeah. I have never eaten there.
It was never, ever open. And do they have family spelled wrong?
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Family.
Family. I never, ever saw that open. I don't think. Well, of course, we were always there in the summer. Yeah, and but a lot of stores closed in the summertime, so.
Yeah. Well, no, we went one time in September.
Yeah, that's true.
Should have been open by now.
Should have been open then. Oh my gosh, Lille was so busy after you guys left and school was back in session. And
Oh, I bet.
I was like, holy cow, I know the metro was so full. I was like, man, summertime's the time to be in Lille. No one else is here. Everything's closed, but no one else is here. So let's walk down the street that we've walked down many times. So
Headed towards Domino's and Caprice, right?
yes, of course.
Heck yeah.
So this little place where we lived was, I guess, on an island. I don't know. It was surrounded by water.
We were on a moat island.
Yeah.
Man-made island.
Yeah.
Like,
So here's where that water.
that's where we saw those dogs
Yeah.
that one day.
And Tour de France would come past here that
I
one time.
was swimming that day.
Where were you swimming?
With Luke, the bishop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So now we're in a new town. This is Lambersart. And let's see. Let's just keep going. We walked this many, many times.
Yeah. And Domino's should be on the right. Unless if it's...
Oh, shoot. There's a truck.
Thanks, truck.
Oh, petite. I must be a little farther down because.
Maybe. Except for I don't remember walking that far. Keep going.
Yeah, because now we're at the bank already.
Hmm.
That seems weird that we've missed it. But it's interesting because, oh, there's Domino's right there.
Oh, okay, there it is.
So what memories do you have of walking to Domino's?
We would go there, what was it, every Friday?
Saturday night.
Saturday night, we would get orange Fanta because orange Fanta in France is a lot different than it is in Samoa, Fiji, and America. Because
you're a connoisseur of international orange Fantas.
Yes, and the people I went to Samoa with can testify to that. But so I would always get an orange Fanta. You would sometimes either get orange Fanta, Coke, or Orangina, which is also really good.
Yeah.
But I preferred the Fanta a lot more.
Yeah, I remember that.
Alice would usually just get like a soda, like an actual American soda.
Mm-hmm.
And then we would go back to the apartment. We would always get like a tomato chicken
bacon
pizza.
Yeah.
And go back to the apartment and watch Psych.
Yep.
Like 4 hours.
Yeah, like 2 or 3 episodes of Psych. Yeah.
And then we're like, okay, we gotta go to bed.
That was like our American night. It was like our one night to pretend we weren't in France, but we're actually in America.
Yeah. And then
and I think that was the night I would get cash for the week too. I think I'd go to the bank.
I think that was the night too as well.
Yeah.
And I would have to come with you.
Mm-hmm. Because I didn't like having all that cash.
Yeah.
Especially because I couldn't speak French.
And I was 14 years old and I was a tank back then.
Yes, you were my bodyguard. Okay, so now we're going a little farther.
To Caprice.
Well, no, remember this? Let's see.
I only went there once.
You only went to Supermarché one time?
Yeah, we always went to the one that was at the very end of the red line, or close to the end.
So I wonder if they'll let us go. So this is the grocery store I went to. And then when I was living here in 2017 by myself, this was the grocery store I went to quite often. Supermarché. And
I'm trying to remember
well, and I also went to the Carrefour at the St. Philibert. We'll have to go over there too and look at that.
I remember it was like St. Phil metro station. It was the last stop.
St. Philibert, yeah.
St. Philibert, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because there's the metro that I would get off to go to this Supermarché.
And then we would go left for Caprice. So
yeah.
Right down the road.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Or was it? I don't know. It's been too long.
Okay, I remember this guy. So it's past this guy. And I think it was past this road here. So
yep, because I almost got hit at that intersection.
How?
It was the night that Alice wasn't feeling really good, so we went all the way to Caprice, which is right there. And I got a Coca-Cola. The guy
Oh yeah, because her
recognized me.
stomach was hurting. Yeah.
And then I was walking back, and I didn't see that a car was turning into the street,
Mm.
and I almost got hit.
Mm.
And I was like, oh, that's not it, or whatever.
So one time, I don't know if I ever told you this, I decided not to take the metro, and I walked all the way from our house to St. Philibert.
Really?
Yeah, I think I did this in 2017. But it's quite the
journey.
Quite the walk. I did a lot of walking. So let's see if we can find. So there's that metro, L'Ambassade, and then Pontsapiga. It's me too. So it just kind of followed this road, didn't it? Yeah, Maison de Savant. Okay.
I remember that station.
Bourg. It should be. It should be right around here, shouldn't it? There's St. Philibert.
Keep going just a little bit.
Let me zoom out a little bit.
Yeah, that was.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Okay, the bakery Louise Lhomme.
Oh,
Remember
yeah.
this?
And then the only IKEA in France.
No, there's other IKEAs.
I remember I would just walk out into the roundabout. I think it's to the behind us.
Yeah, let me go back out because I feel like I'm completely.
Yeah.
How do I get?
So it was up there, like right there. Now just spin around a little. It's back up there.
Up this way?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because that's the metro station
Oh,
to the right.
Okay, here we go. So this is the train that we would get off on, right?
Yep.
And then this is where we walked across the street. Yeah, there's the station. There's the buses.
Yeah, I would just walk out without looking for cars every single time.
And then there's that boulangerie that, let's see, it looks like a car drove through here. This is where they had the best baguettes.
Yep, and then I would sometimes in the mornings go all the way out there to go get some baguettes and then go all the way back home.
Yeah, I remember that. And I remember one time we got baguettes and they were so warm that we had bought some chocolate at that Carrefour, and we opened up the bread on the metro train, stuck the chocolate inside, and the steam from the bread melted the chocolate, and we ate chocolate sandwiches on the way home.
It was
so good.
It was the first week we were.
Dad was still with us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like the first week we were.
And then this was kind of like a mall, and there was a Carrefour inside the mall, and so this is where we did kind of our major grocery shopping, and then we'd grab some fresh baguettes on the way home, get on the St. Philibert at the station in the train, and then go home. But we came out here a lot. And do you have any memories of that Carrefour, or?
I mean, this is kind of embarrassing for you, maybe, but we got one of those scan guns, so then we could check out a lot faster.
Oh,
and it actually took us a half hour.
Oh my gosh, that was a nightmare.
Instead of 10, 15 minutes.
And leave it to me to try to do something that's going to save time, and it takes 4 times as long. That's the story of my life.
And bless their hearts, they were trying so hard to speak English.
Yeah, she was trying so hard to help me, and that was partly why it took so long, because I was just I kept saying, it's okay. No. I mean, she really, really wanted to help me. I was like,
And then didn't it turn out it was you did pay for it, but it didn't print the receipt because it ran out of receipt paper or something like that?
I don't know. It just, turned into a total nightmare. But it kind of made me feel official that I had a Carrefour Express card, and I had to give my address and fill out a form. It made me feel very non-touristy, like I truly was living in France. So anyway, well, the other place I thought would be fun to go is
Now I'm trying to remember what train station I would go to. We had the best mussels there.
Where?
At Rio.
Oh, should we go find that restaurant? Let's see.
Is that the
Well, I thought we'd go over to the Citadel too, but
McDonald's temporarily closed.
oh, interesting. I'm feeling a little turned around. Like where?
I think it was to the left a little.
It was. I'm trying to think which metro station. It wasn't Republique Bazaar. It was like right here.
It was
Let me just jump out right here and see what happens.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, it was right there. Turn around. Turn around.
Oh, it's right here.
Yeah.
That's La Chicory. That's where we had those mussels.
Yeah. That's also where we went for your
My birthday.
birthday dinner.
And Alice was somewhere.
Alice wasn't feeling good, I think.
No, I think she had a young women activity or something.
Maybe that's it. And then we saw this guy like running down the street, and then like a few seconds later, he was running back up the street and threw up everywhere.
Oh, I don't remember.
I remember that. Oh, also, I had the table where in America you had the forks on the left-hand side, the knife on the
Right.
inside on the right, and the spoon on the outside.
Right, right.
And so in France, they had it completely swapped. Knife was on the outside, spoon was on the inside, on the left-hand side, and the forks were on the right side.
Oh,
so I swapped it because I was like, this is weird to me. I can't. And then our waiter came up, saw it was backwards, and he fixed it. And I was like, no.
Oh.
He was a pretty chill guy, but I was like, I'm gonna just put it back because that's how I'm used to it. And he's like, oh, okay.
Stupid American.
Yeah.
And then remember this building?
Yeah, I watched a guy play chess for like an hour.
It looks like they're not going to let us get too close to it. But yeah, inside it's just like this massive flea market. And it was just so crazy. I remember they had postcards and comic books and little antiques and stuff. And this is kind of the hub. So I don't think you were with me when I went to the Broderie. Every year since the 1200s, in Lille, they've had this like massive flea market where 2.9 million people come, and they have 89 different miles of booths and stuff.
I wasn't there that.
Yeah, I don't think you guys had shown up yet. Anyway, I went to the Broderie with Nerys, my friend from Venezuela, and it was crazy. And I actually got some mussels on Saturday. They were trying to break the world record of having the most people eating mussels simultaneously at the same time, and they literally were bringing out buckets of mussels for people to eat. So I was like, I'm doing it. So I came over to Rior and I ordered some mussels, ate all by myself, and felt proud that I was part of a Guinness Book of World Record for the most mussels eaten.
That's awesome.
But yeah, this was kind of just a main area to hang out, and I loved this area. I loved coming here.
The area that Alice and I got those customized. No, that was at the mall. Never mind.
Yeah.
We got the customized phone cases.
And I don't know if Google's going to let us go through this little area right here. Do you remember how to get? Oh, look, it will. You remember what happens when you keep going this way? See if it looks familiar. And then you gotta go around this corner.
Store?
Oh no, we're going the opposite way for the Lowe's store. We'll have to. Okay, now I got turned around. This is where I think that, yeah, Patrick Armand, they have the best macarons there. The macarons are really, really good.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember.
I took you and Elise there when you guys came. It was after the Samoa. You'd flown in from Samoa and you were like So
I was nocturnal.
Yeah, you were not in your right mind. Okay,
So
this. A lot of people.
That.
Okay, yeah, a lot of people do not like this chapel, this Notre Dame.
Because they
Lille's
tried to
Notre
make it
Dame.
look modern, and they
Well-
didn't do it right.
Well, what they did is this is what's called poor planning, because this finished around 1991, but the chapel started in 1875 or something. So what happens is, because it didn't have good planning, I don't know if Google's going to let me go back there, but as you go back, it gets older and older and older. So as you walk towards the front of the chapel, it gets more and more modern.
Okay.
I love it though. I love this chapel more than I do the Paris Notre Dame, because nobody comes here. You get the place to yourself.
Yeah, that is true.
And they have beautiful music playing, and inside it's gorgeous. It's the outside that's a nightmare. But my memory of this, and I don't think you were with me, I might have been alone, or
I remember we had lunch like right in front of it.
okay,
right
so
there.
you were with me. Do you remember I asked for ice? It was this place right
They
here.
gave me like 3 ice cubes.
No, they gave me like a bowl of ice. I told them, I said, I'm American and I love ice. And the guy understood what I meant, and he brought me a whole bowl of ice. That was the most ice anyone had ever brought me in France.
I thought that was the beach in Belgium that gave you the bucket of ice.
No, the beach in Belgium gave me 2 ice cubes.
Okay, so I had it swapped.
You had it swapped. Yeah, that was in Blankenberg. So fun. Oh, we should jump over to Bruges.
Okay.
Or maybe we'll do that as a different video. Do it as a different memory. Go over to Bruges. So anyway, this was just kind of my happy spot, was to just be out and about around here. I really loved being here. So the other thing I was thinking of going to see is the church. So to go to church, we used to get off at Pont de Bois, remember? And then I think we walked.
We walked through.
So there's the metro station right here.
Yeah,
we walked through here, which it doesn't look like it's going to let us do.
Yeah.
But we would cut through all these
apartment buildings.
Yeah, apartment buildings. So let's see if we can just kind of pop over to the church. Right. So what memories do you have of going to church?
I remember one day we almost got to the church building. There was an ambulance that popped up. And like a few minutes before, people were asking if you spoke French, and you would say in French, "No, I don't speak French."
But I said it so well, nobody believed me.
Yeah. So when the ambulance pulled up and started speaking French, you just throw up your arms and go, "I'm American. I don't speak French."
Yeah.
And they're like, "Okay, sorry."
Yeah.
And I kept going, and I was like, "All right, what a good way to start this day."
Yeah, because I used to say, "Je ne peux pas parler français," or something like that, and they'd be like, "Oh, it sounds like you speak French." I'm like, "Oh."
No, I just got really good at saying it.
I just got really good at saying je ne peux pas parler français. Anyway, so there's our building, and I remember this is where I used to hang out and visit after church, and then you guys would hang around. I'm like, "You can go." Remember?
Yeah. Well, I would actually play football with the kids, with Luke, Charlie, couple of other kids whose names I can't remember, but like, and then also some parents would want me to talk to their kids in English for whatever reason. And they'd be like, "Speak English." I'm like, "Okay, well, I don't know what I'm supposed to be saying, but hi, kiddo, how you doing?" And then, yeah, once you like saw I was still around, you were like, "You can go home." I'll be like, "Oh, okay, bye." It
was your first time where you could like transport yourself places completely independently.
Yeah.
You could go to the mall on your own. You could, I mean, because back home, living in suburbia, you had to get a ride anytime you wanted to go anywhere.
Yeah, so this was before I was 16, before I had a driver's license. So pretty much having a Metro card, and this goes back to like New York City when we used to live there. Like the Metro got me everywhere. It was the best. Because I didn't care where I was going, because I knew if I was close to the Metro station and like I knew how to get back to it, I would be fine.
Yeah, you can totally get lost and it's okay.
Yeah.
As long as you can find a metro station, you can always get back where you need to go. Yeah, true. And then let's jump over to
the Citadel.
the Citadel. So just kind of as you see it, what memories pop up?
So right now, we watched the video a few days ago of like back in 2017 when Elise and I were in France, and I was like filming a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
The zoo is so awesome, and like being there twice. First time with Alice, and it was free the first time. I don't know why it wasn't.
Yeah, then they started
charging, which I find retarded. But
you can't really see the.
No, because they have like trees covering around the whole entire thing, so you can't see inside.
Well, let's see if we can pop over to the Citadel. Looks like we should be able to.
I remember one time we went to the Citadel. We were walking up on this wall, and it had little slits. And Dad was like, "Oh, you're dead." And I was like, "Huh?" And he's like, "See those slots?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, and on the other side, it's actually a bigger opening, so then they could put their rifle through the hole and be able to shoot you at a big angle, while they couldn't shoot you while they had to shoot you at a small angle. Yeah. So I was like, oh, that's why I'm dead.
Yeah. So here's an entrance that looks like this. I don't know if we even got through
I
the
don't
Citadel.
think we were allowed to go in because...
Right. It was an active...
it was right here that Dad...
it's these gunner holes right here, right?
Yeah, and I was recording,
and
there's a security guard right by the middle pole, and there was this guy that was riding on his bike, and I had my camera up, and she yells at me to put down my camera. I'm like, I'm sorry? Because
you're recording someone going into the Citadel, I think.
Well, it was like before he was even close to my camera, and she's like, put down your camera right now. Yeah. I was like, what the heck? Yeah. And this guy goes by, and she's like, okay, you're good. And I was like, I'm sorry. What? All right. So, but I got a picture of him anyway, so.
And the Citadel was built when King Louis 14th. Anyway, so this used to not be France. This part of Lille, this part of France used to not be France. And this is how it became France, was with this Citadel. So this is a really old fort, and it still works. They're still using it.
Yeah, so being very protective about people on bikes.
It was weird living in a country where things were hundreds of years old. Hundreds were.
Oh yeah.
And our town of Pleasant Grove didn't get started till 1869. It's not even 200 years old, and it was almost like no big deal, but everything was so old. I don't know. It was kind of interesting, but.
Yet again, they grew up on it. Where with us, we're growing up with Pleasant Grove.
Yeah.
So it's just people are used to their surroundings. When say I go to Tokyo, I've never been there before. You have. It's like how people describe it. It's a futuristic city, but it's like for them, it's like
World War II. So yeah.
So, yeah. But for them, it's like, oh, it's just bright lights. That's it.
Yeah.
And then if they come over to our country, then they're like, oh, everything's still kind of new, depending on where they go. So, and then we go over to Europe, the oldest countries in the world, pretty much. Everything is way before our time.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, well, let's see if we can walk maybe around this side of the Citadel, because this is kind of where we would go.
Where was that little park? Was that where that park is? Right.
Yeah, above? Where you could exercise and stuff.
Well, what's on my home screen? Like right here.
Oh, that part. That's this park right here.
Oh, okay.
So it's right in through there.
That's where the old guy was yelling.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is a gorgeous little park. It doesn't look like they're going to let us walk into it, but there's a picture of it. I don't see the little
Rock
cave
formation.
thing. Yeah. But these were so common. These were everywhere in France, especially in parks, was these statues commemorating different people. And I would pull out my phone and translate the little stories and stuff. And they commemorated everybody. That was really common. So, yeah, I love that little garden there.
Yeah.
And so sometimes coming home from church, I would get off at the Rior station, and then I would walk back to our apartment from Rior, and I'd just wander. I would wander these streets and just try to look at as many different things as I could, and then just kind of make my way back to the apartment. And you guys thought I was always coming home late because I was talking for so long, but really I was just going on super. I mean, I would walk for 2 hours. I walked everywhere that summer. Walked so much. And do you have any memories of any stories? Should we try to find Losk? What?
Wazim, go down.
Wazam?
Wazam.
Oh.
The big like
market. It was between
yeah.
Montebello and Wazam, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Let's see.
Montebello.
I don't remember where it is.
I don't know, don't ask me.
Well, let's just drop down and see what we can see. See if we recognize anything.
I recognize that guy.
Yeah. I don't know. None of this is looking very familiar. You know what we should do is try to find the metro. Which metro station did we get off at?
It was both. We would get off at both.
Let's drop down here. Let's drop down there. Because maybe, was it just this area right here? No?
It was a little walk. We would go by the banana store.
Tacos. When I was there in 2017, I decided I was just dying for a taco. I was like, I know I'm France. I don't care. I'm going to go get a taco. So I go to this little taco shop, and my options for meat was tater tots, French fries, chicken. I was like, you don't put tater tots in a taco? And it was gross. Anyway, so I walked out. I was like, I'll just have to wait till I get home. I can't eat a tater tot taco. This is just not looking very familiar to me. I'm wondering where that market was.
Maybe we only got off at.
I'm just starting to wonder if we're even in the right spot. Like the right metro station, because this metro station doesn't even look familiar. But the Wazam market was just Tuesdays and Sundays, and it was just this big, huge open market. And what kind of things did we buy when we went there?
You would buy spices for friends back home.
Yeah, that's right.
Alice and I would just try and find cool trinkets.
Yeah.
And then we would buy some food for the week.
Yeah, like produce.
Yeah. And then I remember one time Alice and I were really hungry.
Uh-huh.
And there was like elephant ears or whatever.
Mm.
And you didn't want to pull out your money, so you made us pay for it. And little did I know there was what are they called? Gypsies. There was a gypsy right behind us asking for money, but I wasn't listening because I was taught by you and taught myself to just zone them out.
Yeah.
So she's talking behind me. I don't care. And so Alice handed money over to the guy, and she was seriously about to grab it, and the guy just like grabbed it out of Alice's hands and goes, "Thank you. Have a good day."
Mm.
But in French, of course. But,
yeah.
And she was a little sad.
Okay, so they're saying here's where the Wazam market is, but I'm still not convinced this is right.
No.
We could drop down in and see, but
actually,
that's probably it, because it was just this big open
parking lot.
It just looks like they took pictures when it wasn't the market. But yeah, they sold everything from gold to phone chargers to tomatoes. I mean, it was just, everything was so random and loud and noisy, and they'd yell at you and
come here.
Yeah.
Good deals.
And it was our landlord that actually told me about it. That's how I even knew to go there and even knew about
What's his name again?
Johan.
No.
Johan. Yeah.
I knew it was like started with a J. But
yeah. Is there any other places in Lille you want to pop over to and see, or?
There's one place that I do remember, but I don't remember what.
Tell me.
Station.
Don't worry about it. Maybe I can find it.
It was the. I mean, you never went there. Actually, that's not true. You did once, but it was where the missionaries and I would play football.
That's right. I don't know if I ever did go out there, but that was way over in Beam of Dusk, wasn't it?
Probably.
Well,
I knew it took like a pretty long time to get there.
Yeah, I remember the first time you went, I was always just so nervous. So let's hop over to Beam of Dusk. This is a golf course, it looks like.
Yeah.
Was it the stadium? No, you wouldn't have.
No, we passed the stadium though.
Really?
I remember there was like this big, like tall, weird dome-looking thing, and I would always ask, "What is that?" And they're like, "Oh, it's a stadium." I was like, "Oh, nice."
I wonder.
Go left a little.
Could it have been this part?
Go zoom in on the
This one?
On the metro to the left.
This metro? Yeah. I don't even know that metro station.
No, that wasn't it. It started with B, I think.
Well, you know where we are is kind of over by that mall that we used to go to all the time.
Second mall? One that
this
had
one right here.
Drinking fountain?
The drinking fountain.
Yeah. I know we went to 2 malls, and I think the second one had a drinking fountain on it. And I was tripping out because I was like,
so this I don't think this place had a Carrefour, but it had that other store that was like a Target. And it had 2 levels, and it had an escalator, an escalator, and you could put your shopping cart on the escalator. I don't know if you remember that.
Was that close to the train station?
Yeah, it was right. You got right out of the
train station, went to the left.
Let me jump down and see if we can see something to recognize. There it is, right there, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah, I think so.
Turn around, because it's not familiar to me.
Well, we always went in from the train station. We never came in from the street, so this isn't going to look familiar. But because we always came in from a different angle. Hotel de Ville. I think that was the metro. See, there's the metro sign right over there. So we were coming in from almost from inside. Like we'd come up from underground, and so we never saw this part really. But that's the mall, I think. There. Yeah. But what is it? How do you feel seeing all this stuff again? Does it bring back a longing to go back, or are you like?
I mean, it would be fun to go back. It's just, I feel like I would want to do it when I'm older.
Yeah.
Like, say if I had someone with me. But.
Are you glad you went to France? Are you glad you had that experience? You've actually gone twice. Yeah. Well, you know what we'll have to do is we'll have to do a memory in Paris. We'll have to go over to Paris.
I barely remember Paris.
Well, we'll have to go to like the Eiffel Tower and
Okay.
Notre
I do
Dame and
remember.
yeah.
I remember I was freaking out. I had the coolest sunglasses. I actually showed Dad like a few days ago.
Mm-hmm.
You guys just bought it for my birthday. It was Puma sunglasses,
Mm.
like fully black. And I was taking every single picture I could in France with those sunglasses. And I regret it. Because I was like, I shouldn't have been wearing. I also had the Salt Lake City Bumblebees baseball team ball cap on with my sunglasses. And I thought I was the coolest kid in
You
town.
were styling.
And I wasn't. I looked like crap.
The other one that would be fun is to pop over to Bruges.
Ooh, yes, please.
And then maybe pop over to Ostend. Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, that's Lille. Oh, we didn't go to the train station. I wonder if we should pop over there. Just
that was our home away from home.
That was our home. I mean, with all the traveling we did, to Germany and Luxembourg and Belgium multiple times, once we saw the train station, we were home. It's like we knew at least we were close to home. So you always know where the train station is because there's tons of lines coming out of it. So this was Lille Flandre. There it is. Gare de Lille Flandre.
Oh, it's making me smile so big.
I know. There is something that feels like home when you see the train station because we saw it every time we came back from a trip. And we did a lot of day trips,
We did. I remember for Alice's birthday, she wanted to turn 16 in Germany.
Right.
And so we went a day before her birthday.
And left the day after. Yeah, we went to Munich. Yeah, we went into the Black Forest.
And I remember when we were coming back, I saw the train station. I don't know, I was just super happy. And I was like, we're not even home. And I'm just super happy.
Well, and it's funny because when I came back 3 years later, Dad and I came back together, right? Didn't we come? Yeah, we flew to Paris together.
On the way over
from New York.
First time he came over?
Yeah.
I know he came over twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got settled into the apartment together, didn't we? I don't think
on the second trip?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I just remember we land in CDG in the Paris airport. We get on the train. And I just remember landing, we get off the train, we're in Gare de Lille Flandre, and it just was like, I just remember feeling home. I remember feeling that.
Yeah.
And it had been 3 years. And I still, even like you say, just looking at it, you're just like,
And then it really felt like home when we walked into the apartment.
Oh, yeah.
And our phones and our laptops connected
immediately connected to the internet. Didn't have to do the password or anything because we were back in the same old apartment. Yeah.
Do you remember the lady that was like right above us? Like it was our second day there or something. And we had the internet box in our place and she came down like speaking French to us and we're like, sorry?
Yeah.
I don't really
she
understand.
needed us to reset the router or something.
Yeah, and then she like spoke perfect English.
I know. Once she figured it out.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah. I was like, woo, you speak English, thank goodness. Yeah. I remember that.
And then she was like, oh, you just need to reset the router.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay.
We can do that for you.
Somehow.
Yeah, that was funny. Yeah, it's just weird how you can live somewhere for such a short amount of time and so quickly develop feelings of home.
Yeah.
And of roots and to make memories and to have friends that you know and still contact and it's crazy how quickly you can establish a home no matter where you go, no matter what you do. Anyway, well, thanks for going down Lille's memory lane with me. That was fun.
It was great.